In this video, I'm going to be philosophizing in regards to a optimistic optimizer of mind-body, as an expander of mind-body. Philosophizing engages the highest complexity of our highest organizations of organizing meaningful information within higher order cognition and emotions, though it requires cognizing and emotional regulation that develops our capacity for self-intelligence and the autointeligencia, boundness para o titularidade do existência como desenvolvendo processos, cognições e apassos emoções específico to insightfulness and various emotions that develop from the intellectual cognizing of meaning of affect, or feelie-wheelies, that are more worthwhilely and engage meaningfulness processes associated with emotions that are positive and increase creativity. These are meaningful positive emotions, or positive meaningful emotions. Insightfulness, enthusing emotions, interest, absorption, and absorption tends to be highly meaningful for engaging thoughtfulness, as we can engage philosophizing or contemplative thinking as a deeper process as we're absorbed in something and engaging meaningful emotions that are complex and perplexifying. They tend to capture another emotion such as curiosity and aesthetic appreciations that allow us to identify and elaborate on specific properties through a capacity to engage our aha moments and more luminous, warm, meaningful emotions that are cognized with self-discipline, as you can't just develop philosophical theory on arbitrary, meaningless, absurdities of whim, though whim and wit is highly meaningful for this, and often a creative spontaneity to be able to reason on your feet is highly meaningful to the enterprise of philosophizing that develops mind-body in regards to increasing knowledgeabilities that allowance more meaningful living, that optimizes and is a maintaining the sustainers and sustainability of our psychological existence, and that those existence that are developed as component parts of existing allow us to develop our intrinsic motivations, our aspirations, and capacities to perform more optimally in various different domain-specific areas, as we're able to deepen access to knowledge and make it easier to access knowledge, and also develop meaningfulness processes in relation to specific well-defined perception, action, behavior apparatuses that become more better calibratory and combinatory of various different creative configurations and sequencing of meaningful information that allows us to innovate and engage our intrinsic innovativeness and inventiveness to be able to develop different engineerings of the psychological mind in association with specific perception, action, behaviors that allow us to be able to increase the frequency of positive, meaningful emotions with its elevated amplitude and magnitude in a specific directed, meaningful information pathway as it regards mind and body and the causations of self-directed learning, encompassed by the self-conducted learning that direct perceptions directly conduct. and that our absorptions in specific areas of aspiration and aptitude that engage interest and engaging meaningful emotions, regards to absorption, that is a positive engaging emotion that increases various infrastructuring maintainers of the body that develop positive physical and psychological health, as well to positive and psychological well-being. That meaningfulness is a component of that, and it can improve our, through psychological well-being, improve our psychological resistance of healthy psychological functioning that makes us more resistant to disease and can improve immunization from disease, and which also optimizes various health-related behaviors that are navigatory of more meaningful living, and which is optimizing of the optimistic optimizers that are more conducive to optimal well-being, and the development of meaningfulness processes that allows meaningful connections to engage learning plasticities of mind and body that are perception dependent to learning and regard perception dependent learning, that through philosophizing engages love of learning, which deepens our categorical processes through categoricalizations of meaningful information at its highest comprehensive capacities, in which ultimate psychological truths develop reciprocal, dynamical, relational self-conducts direct in regards to directed information processes that influence every aspect of mind, body, developing meaningfulnesses. And that's all I want to say for this video. I hope you have an awesome one. Bye.